So I think I have found some words about my background and the institution I work for earlier this afternoon, so I can make it quite short. I prepared some points for you about the ISW profile. So our company was founded in the early 1990s. We are an independent non-profit research institution. So this is not such as you might know the Helmholtz Society or the Fraunhofer Society, which are funded by the federal government in Germany. So we are mostly project-based, and our head office is in Halle. This is where I work. This is located in Saxony-Anhalt in central Germany. So we have other office locations as well in the capital of Saxony-Anhalt, Magdeburg, and in Berlin as well. At the moment we have approximately 60 staff members, which includes the academic and also the administrative staff. Some words about the sort of working areas, work fields we're dealing with. This is mainly application-oriented and interdisciplinary research in very different fields, such as regional economic development, structural policy, education, technology research. We are concerned with studies, in-house publications, public relations, editorial work, and so on. So we do some very different instruments and tools for stakeholder involvement, for dissemination, and network and cluster management. And we also work on funding consultancy for mostly medium or small and medium enterprises, and we also do scientific monitoring in the projects we run. So we have a broad network and close collaboration with different institutions and stakeholders in very different fields. We work together with federal and state level ministries, European Commission, the Committee of the Regions, but also, as I already said, companies, chambers, trade unions, and so on, but also with other research institutions, funded institutions such as universities and even the Fraunhofer Society. But also with regions and different municipalities, German ones, but also European ones, just like in the WEEE Models project. And we also do the sort of finance consulting for companies and try to foster the cooperation between companies and the development banks, and also with the federal and state governments, and even with the EU. So don't worry, I won't be reading out every references I listed. It's just a selection of the EU projects we're running. You see the WEEE Models project, which is a Life Plus project, as you already know, but we're also working on other funding projects, just as Horizon 2020, or even for the DG Home. So just a short overview of the different fields. It's not only about the environmental and logistic topics we're working on WEEE Models, but also about zero energy renovation, threat identification, and emergency response. So you see, this is quite a broad range of topics we cover in the ISW. So I think you have a rough idea of what we do, and now I come to the role we have in the WEEE Models project. I already told you something about this earlier this afternoon. So we, in the preparatory actions of this project, we worked on the analysis of European best practice studies. So we tried to figure out what are good or even best solutions for WEEE logistic, and we covered 3 different countries, Germany, Sweden, and Scotland. And yes, the aim was to describe the various approaches of WEEE logistics in the European comparison, yes, and with a specific focus on the policy framework, the collection system, the transport and return system, and also the financing, and try to sort of dense this information to the to a what we call a good or even a best practice in this field. So this is what it looks like. I also brought some copies with me, but it's also linked on the website. It was finished in May 2014, so it was a state-of-the-art study at this very moment. We published it in German and in English language. It's about 66 pages, and we had a comprehensive statistical appendix. And sort of, if you're interested in, please let me know. I can send a PDF to you, or you can have a look at the website, of the WEEE Models website. So this, I think I can skip it. This is the WEEE collection rate in Europe. Where we started the project, we used the data from 2010 just to get an overview of the differences in the WEEE collection rates across Europe. So I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Italy was about 4 kilograms per capita, and Germany was about 8 to 9 kilograms, and the Norway and Sweden had very high rates at that moment. So this was just to illustrate that we have a lot of work to do, not only in Italy but also in Germany and in other European countries. So I can skip this. I think everybody in the room knows about the directive we talk about for like 3 hours today. So I can skip to our collection schemes in Germany or in the Halle-Saale region. I brought some pictures with me to illustrate the pickup systems and the drop-off systems we run in the city of Halle and in the surroundings. So as a pickup system, we sort of describe different fields of picking up the WEEE. It's might be linked to bulky waste, or it's a sort of take back by the distributors and traders, or even the mobile hazardous waste unit. So and a drop-off system, the recycling centers, collecting centers, of course, also the container solutions, and that the customers can bring their WEEE back to the traders. So this is a sort of overview of the collection schemes, but in reality it's not like you divide it so strict. It's feasible and advisable to combine pickup and drop-off systems, of course, and choosing the most suitable collecting scheme or the combination of a different collection scheme depends on different aspects, such as the catchment area, the population density, even the spatial conditions or the public acceptance. So there are many different indicators that needs to be considered to take the choice for the right or for the best working collection scheme. So the best practice we found in Halle that we combine different collection schemes. We have 3 drop-off collection centers for WEEE. We have the mobile hazardous waste unit, and we have 34 containers for small WEEE collection. So it's a quite broad approach to even gain more WEEE from the citizens. Then we had a sort of evaluation on the volume flows, and respectively showed that providing the containers had not resulted in a shift of quantities from the recycling centers to the containers, because the containers were sort of a pilot action in Halle, so they stepwise increased the number of containers. But it was not clear if the amount of WEEE collected will increase in the same time. So this was a very good conclusion, that we found that this was not resulted in a shift of quantities, and therefore the recyclable material obtained could be gained from the residual waste. So this was a finding of our study as well, and the test runs in the initial phase also showed that only a small share of misthrow and foreign matters happen, so that people are quite familiar with putting the right WEEE or putting the right stuff in the bins or in the containers. Last week we had our steering committee meeting in Halle, and the representative of the primary treatment facility also presented their activities. So this is a sort of public-private partnership with the municipal sort of waste company and the private company, where they separate and decomposite the WEEE of the categories 3 and 5. And just a brief look at the best practice we found in Sweden. This was the cooperation with the company Co-op, with the collection containers placed in shops, which were very popular and were quite successful. So we consider this to be a good practice to even increase the WEEE collection rates. Yes, and I brought some additional information for you, just to see that we even work on the dissemination and the networking of the WEEE-related topics we work on with the WEEE Models project. So we run an European best practice workshop in Brussels 2 years ago. So we attracted more than 30 representatives from 7 European countries. This was quite a success as well, where we can even learn from each other, and we also had representatives of the northern states, just like Norway and Sweden. So we sort of learned from them how to even increase the collection rates in Germany or even in Italy. And we were very proud that the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment of the Federal State of Saxony-Anhalt supported this event and even sent a speaker to that. So this seems to be highly appreciated by the federal government, that we sort of are part of this WEEE Models Consortium and try to foster the increase of the WEEE collection rates further on. So now I come to an end already, so just a few words about the outlook of our upcoming activities. As you already know, that the WEEE Models project is already in a final phase, so it will end in December 2016. So, but nevertheless, we're still working on networking and knowledge transfer and even dissemination. So we are very keen on working even for the afterlife communication work package. So the Life Plus program is very much fostering the sustainability of the networking and of the knowledge transfer. So we're still working on that, and I highly appreciate the ones of you today that already signed a memorandum of understanding for the establishment of external partnerships. If you haven't done this yet, I really want to empower you to do it. I think Anna-Rita has some copies, and you can also get in contact with us after the workshop as well. So we try to broaden our approach, and even to work for the afterlife work, which starts after the project officially ended in December. So we also have regional activities from our side, from the ISW. So we are in contact with the public waste disposal operators in Saxony-Anhalt, and also with the federal state government. So there are quite a lot of things to do, even if the project will end very soon. So thank you very much for your attention, and yes, I think we are very, very good in time. So I sort of want to conclude. I don't know if Anna-Rita wants to say some words as well. So thank you very much for your contribution to the speakers, to the audience, and even to the representatives of the Science Festival. I don't think he's still there. No. Yeah. And I highly recommend to join the roundtable discussion tomorrow. I think Anna-Rita can give you some more details about this event tomorrow. So where will be the main aspects, talking about the LCA model, also life cycle assessment. And thanks also to the translator. Thank you very much. And of course to Anna-Rita and to the municipality of Genova and to the Wind Models project partners. It was a pleasure having you here and broaden the horizon, not only with view of the collection of the logistic point of view, which Wind Models project is mainly about, but also to cover topics like the reuse and the recovery and the related business models. So thank you very much.